Hey everybody, it is 3:16 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It is Monday, March the 9th. Ohio State University President Ted Carter has abruptly resigned after admitting to an inappropriate relationship with an unnamed person seeking public resources. The Ohio State University Board of Trustees accepted Carter's resignation on Sunday. Trustees said Carter disclosed he had an inappropriate relationship with someone seeking public resources to support her personal business and offered to leave his post, according to a news release issued by the university. Ohio State, meanwhile, has still not opened up an investigation into Les Wexner's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. There were reports of deep financial ties between the two. Wexner has donated millions to Ohio State over the past several years. This comes despite protests by students and organizations calling for the removal of Wexner's name from Ohio State universities or facilities, and also the removal of two individuals from the OSU Board of Trustees, John Ziegler and Elizabeth. The board governs the process of removing names from facilities, and Ziegler is the personal attorney for Wexner. Kessler's father is a longtime friend and associate of Wexner. Two teenagers accused of bringing explosives to a protest outside New York City's mayoral residence were inspired by the Islamic State, according to federal prosecutors. The teenagers were part of an anti-Muslim protest led by grifter and Florida Senate candidate Jake Lang. Approximately 20 white supremacist protesters were confronted by 120 counter-protesters, and the alleged attackers used the opportunity to throw the devices at Mamdani's residence. So yes, you can say that MAGA racists are now working with ISIS. Ticketmaster has reached a settlement with the DOJ following a long court battle after the ticket giant was sued by the Biden administration in several states in 2024. The centerpiece of the agreement is expected to be structural changes to Live Nation's ticketing business. Under the settlement, Ticketmaster will be required to open parts of its platform to rival ticketing companies, allowing third-party sellers such as SeatGeek and Eventbrite to list tickets directly through Ticketmaster's technology. It also places new limits on the long-term exclusivity contracts Ticketmaster has historically used to lock down venues into its system, cutting those agreements down to 4 years and allowing venues to allocate a portion of their tickets to competing platforms. AI giant Anthropic on Monday sued the Trump administration for declaring the artificial intelligence company a risk to the Defense Department's supply chain, a step that further escalates a standoff over the ethical limits on increasingly powerful AI. This came after Anthropic defied Hegseth and said it would not allow its AI to be used for mass surveillance of Americans and to create autonomous killing robots. In a lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California, Anthropic accused the government of violating its First Amendment rights, exceeding the legal scope of the supply chain risk statute, and circumventing the process through which the president and cabinet secretaries are allowed to cancel government contracts. The company also filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. Again, Elon Musk and Sam Altman were only too happy to jump at the opportunity to do mass surveillance on Americans, with Altman winning that contract. And finally, Republican Representative Kylie from California is scrambling for his political life and has filed paperwork to immediately shift from the Republican Party to independent, though he will continue to caucus with the Republicans. Kylie is now in a solidly Democratic district after Governor Gavin Newsom, with voter support, redrew districts in California in response to Texas doing the same thing in Texas without voter support to try to gain more seats for the GOP. So, love to see this for you, Kevin.